Okay, hi everyone. We are going to give this one one more try. Let me center myself here in the camera. This is the Low Shack in the Bag show. You're watching SBR Sports Picks. Today is Friday morning, January 25th. Of course, I have been on vacation for most of this week. I'm taking over the show now. Friday morning, Jimmy the Bag is out today, and he'll be out this afternoon as well. But we will both be back in studio, in close proximity to each other, very close together. On Monday morning, and everything will be back to normal. A lot of fun, and we're looking forward to the week before the Super Bowl, doing a lot of breakdowns and everything. So shout out to everyone who's joining us again. We're going to do this show just for about half an hour or so, talk about NBA, a little bit about college basketball. There are a few interesting college basketball situations that I'm wondering if other people are agreeing with me on. I was thinking that Creighton might be a good play against Butler, despite the fact that probably I would rate Butler as a significantly better team than Creighton, or not a significantly better team, but a solid quarter notch better team than Creighton. I think this might be a good spot for Creighton, giving only 2.5. So I was thinking about that. I was also vaguely thinking about the over in Michigan, Indiana, maybe, right? And I was thinking maybe a shot with Indiana early. I'm not exactly sure what I think about the spread. I was more thinking maybe about a shot with the over, but that line might get bet down. NBA is very interesting. Let me just quickly go over what I was thinking about, and then we'll get some feedback from the people in the comments section, and hopefully we'll be able to come up with a few nice leans or picks. Solid official picks from me in this show over the next 22 minutes. Of course, the Knicks and the Nets are having another Friday night clash in Brooklyn tonight. And the Knicks, as I said, I don't know if you guys remember what I was saying in the show a few weeks ago. You know, Jimmy the Bag is the one who is the player and matchups expert when it comes to NBA. But there are definitely some general situations that I identify very easily and very well. And one of the situations that I identify every year in the NBA is teams that are sitting bad teams that are sitting veterans, putting them on the bench and playing, youngsters, giving them a lot of playing time. Of course, in those situations, those teams tend to be big underdogs, and that exactly has happened with the Knicks. I identified the Knicks as one of those teams. They are 1-8 straight up in their last 9, but 6-3 ATS in those games. Classic situation that you see a lot. Team like the Knicks, playing all their youngsters, getting a lot of points every night, losing straight up, but not necessarily losing against the spread. And once again, they're getting a lot of points here, catching 10 at the Nets. We'll talk about that in a second. Miami-Cleveland is a very interesting game. Miami, of course, is making roster changes. They're trying to shake up their roster a little bit, and they're giving big points to Cleveland tonight. Cleveland has been losing ATS game in and game out, but they're getting a hell of a lot of points here. And I was thinking maybe Cleveland might be worth a shot here, plus the points, or on the first quarter or something like that. So there's some interesting stuff in the NBA. And of course, Memphis auto fade is going again. Are they maybe a good auto fade against Sacramento? The Toronto-Houston game is very interesting. I was thinking maybe a shot with the over on that one, or maybe the Houston team total over. The Clippers-Bulls game is very interesting. So we'll talk all about this. Let's just quickly check the comments section to see if anyone has anything interesting to say, and then we'll break down the NBA game by game relatively quickly, and then we'll go into the college basketball segment, and then we'll wrap it up. And of course, we will be back at 5:30 Eastern time later on today, and I'll be hosting solo. There will be no tech issues in the afternoon show because we've just solved them. We just solved the tech issues, and so that will be good this afternoon. So let's see. Comments coming in. Chris Smith says, is it just me, or does Sacramento look like easy money against Memphis? Jumped on +2 early. Yes, at first glance, it would seem that way. Memphis, of course, is a team in disarray. Sacramento is also, everyone's going to be in for them. De'Aaron Fox is going to play. There's no one on the injury report that is expected to be out. So it does seem a little bit like a no-brainer play on Sacramento today. And I'm going to check the line movement. I might make a final decision on that one in the afternoon show. As of right now, the line movement has favored Memphis. They opened at 1. and got bet up to 2. So that's kind of ominous. And that's the kind of line move that I don't want to go against. A team like Memphis losing ATS game in and game out as a small home favorite and getting bet up a little bit. So yes, it does appear like Sacramento at first glance would be a no-brainer, obvious play, but the market movement and the opening line indicate to me that might not be the case. Let's look at some other comments and we'll discuss these games. Once again, you're watching SBR Sports Picks, the Loshak in the Bag Show. My name is Peter Loshak, and these shows, of course, are sponsored by BetOnline. Thank you so much to BetOnline for sponsoring these shows up to the Super Bowl. All right, what else do we have? I'm assuming the audio is fine. Let's see. We're also going to have an Argentinian football video from number 1 that'll come up in a second. DJ Big Bot says he likes the over in the Butler game. Yes, and the big question there is just, are these teams going to hit their threes, right? Because both teams like to take a lot of threes, and Creighton is excuse me. It's Butler, has been shooting very well from 3 recently, shooting a lot of threes, and if they hit those threes, then they'll probably put up a big number, and the game does go over. But I was leaning Creighton in that one. Let's see what else we have from the comments. BitXN says Hoosiers, Pete, definitely yes. I was thinking about that. We'll talk about that very quickly in the college basketball section, but let me see. Hold on one second. Other comments coming in. Omning likes the Bucks tonight. That's tricky because the Bucks, of course, you also see this later on in the NBA season when you see teams with the best or top 3 winning percentages in the NBA. The lines really start to catch up with them. You see this in college basketball as well, and you see a lot of dead-on market reads with teams like the Bucks. Their last game was a very close. I think they were 11-point favorite, won by 10. The game before that was a push. So I'd be very hesitant to bet on the Bucks going forward, especially as a favorite in this range. Maybe against an elite team where they're giving a few too many points is a kind of spot where I might look to take the Bucks right now. But right now it makes me nervous to take the Bucks at -11. I don't think it's a bad bet. I just think it might be a coin flip. Let's see what else here. Simone Mombella. Shout out to Simone Mombella. Here, Maxwell Smart in the comments section. Maxwell Smart said Butler could be in the spot to do what Nova did to them in Creighton. Maxwell Smart, I was thinking that Creighton might be the play here, even though, and I assume you would agree, I would rank Butler as a bit of a better team than Creighton. I think the spot might favor Creighton here, maybe early on. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Dean Williams says Creighton, yes. Julian Cesario says Michigan and Creighton. And Mally Mal says Grizzlies going to beat these kids, and that certainly does seem to be what the market movement is hinting at. And Kobe Valentine leaning Memphis as well. Mally Mal says take Grizzlies. Okay, all right. So let's get into it game by game, and then I will continue to try to read the comment section. And Capper John says Butler sucks. Okay, I wouldn't. Yeah, Ben Sports 24/7 says Creighton too good at home. Ron Lofton says, looks like a tough card in the NBA today. And let's see. Capper John says, I like Creighton tonight. I agree. I like Creighton tonight. All right, so let's just start with NBA. Let's take a look at the NBA card. 10 games on the card tonight. Once again, what I was thinking about was here. Let me just bring my screen up to date here. Yeah. I was thinking that the Knicks might be a good bet. They opened at 10.5. When I looked at this game, they were about 10 or 10.5, and now it's down to 9.5 or 9 at UWager. Makes me think that the Knicks might be a good play here. Maybe a shot with the over. Maybe a shot with the Knicks team total over. But in general, the Knicks are shuffling their rotation, trying to find something that works. And, I think that they're going to continue to lose games, but be a good bet as a big underdog, which they are here. And I'm thinking about definitely leaning Knicks and definitely leaning Knicks team total over. Let's see what else I was leaning towards here. The Toronto-Houston game is interesting. Toronto has taken a lot of money. They're up from 1.5 to 3. Or 3.5, and I was thinking about a shot with the over on that one. Obviously, Houston, has not been winning ATS despite Harden playing out of his mind. And this is a game where I was thinking about the over. It opened at 228. It's now up to 228.5 or 229. Definitely leaning over on this one. Definitely leaning first half over on this one as well. The Memphis game is tricky. I'd have to be leaning Memphis here based on the market movement and based on people like Mally Mal and Kobe Valentine saying that they like Memphis. But this is a game that I'm going to wait until the afternoon show to make a final decision on. Clippers in Chicago is also very interesting. Obviously, the Clippers are coming off of a couple of road dogs straight up wins in their recent games on the road, and the Bulls are off that bad blowout loss to Atlanta. I don't know if I'd want the Bulls here full game, but this might be another spot where I'd be thinking about taking the Bulls on the first quarter. And then the Detroit-Dallas game makes me very nervous. Dallas have a nice home win. My first gut instinct would be to take Dallas here, but they've been so bad. ATS and just a team that I don't want to back that and it's just not clear what how things are going to shake out long term with the return of Dennis Smith. Are they going to have chemistry issues? I could easily see that. They're just not the kind of team that I want to be betting on in any situation, especially not as a favorite in this range. So that's what I'm thinking about. The plays I'm thinking about making official. You're watching the Low Shack in the Bag Show. My name is Peter Loshak, calling in remotely from NYC. Thinking about taking Cleveland plus the points, as awful as they have been. First half or maybe full game. Thinking about the Knicks plus the points, Knicks team total over. Thinking about taking Memphis, although I'll wait. Thinking about overs in Toronto, Houston. Maybe a shot with the Bulls first quarter, and that's just about it. The late games make me nervous. I didn't look into those too deeply, but I looked into them enough to know that they made me nervous, right? The Minnesota game definitely makes me nervous. Hold on one second. Just checking things here. Let's look for some comments section. The comments section here. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Comments coming in. Joe Anisic says Michigan by 40. Yeah, I could see that. I don't really want to bet against Michigan. We'll talk about that in the NBA, in the college basketball section. But I was leaning over on that one. Kobe Valentine says Dan Kelly on the Knicks money line. Yes, I think the Knicks have value. Tomarino Tomor, I'd lean to the Knicks. Dinwiddie was a huge part of the team. LeVert is out. Knicks will get up for this game because of the rivalry, and I think there's going to be some offense here, and I think we will see some scoring, and I think the Knicks team total might be a play. And let me see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to quote the lines that I'm actually going to give. I will just I will tweet them out, and because we're short for time, I will just announce what my official picks are, and then I will tweet out what the official lines wind up being. Let me see. Other comments here. Coming in. Comments coming in. All right. Let's see. I'm looking for it. Ben Sports 24/7 says the Kings run too fast from an offensive team. 400 says Memphis has always run away from getting blown out. They don't have any offense, and the Kings like to run. Yes, Kings first half. I agree. At first glance, it feels like a no-brainer play on the Kings. But again, the line and the line movement makes me nervous, and I will make a final decision on this one in the afternoon show. I want to wait to see, where the line moves and look into this one a little bit more closely. All right, so let's see. Capo Dinero says the Raptors will have Leonard back tonight. That's true. Raptors aren't a great road team, but I think Houston will not have enough in the tank to beat the Raptors, even with Harden going off. Yeah, I was thinking about the over in that one, thinking about the Raptors, and yes, again, of course, Kawhi and Nobi are back for Toronto, and that is huge. Of course, Houston's on a back-to-back, which is also important. Mally Mal says the Bulls are on a dumpster fire. DT Doug says Clips are on a roll. That's another game where I'm going to check the line movement, check to see if it comes back in the Bulls' favor. If it does, that might indicate that the Bulls might be a play there. Let me see. I'm looking for comments here. Kobe Valentine says Houston 5-10 against the spread against Toronto. Yeah, Toronto early might be the play as well. First half and full game. All right. So any people talking about my turtleneck, which yes, a bit of a eye candy for people watching right now. Yeah, Chris Paul has been ruled out for Houston, and that is the cause of the line movement jumping up. All right, so let's see. Fred Gialli likes the Raptors ATS. Kevin Carter says, glad you're back, Pete. Shout out to you, Kevin Carter. Simone Mambella talking about the strange line movement in Toronto, Houston. Yeah, it's because Chris Paul being out. Okay. Christian Walsh says Indiana has 4 players out. Have to look into that. Okay, let's see. Other comments coming in. All right. So I will make some official picks here. I will make the Knicks team total over an official pick. Knicks team total over an official pick. And I'm also going to make the Knicks first half team total over an official pick as well. I think that the Knicks are probably a good bet. And I'm also going to make the Knicks plus the points on the full game as an official pick. And that I'm going to be able to get 9.5. Again, I'm not going to quote the exact numbers right now. I'll just find the best lines after the show is over, and I'll tweet them all out since we are crunched for time. But I'm going to take the Knicks team total over, Knicks first half team total over, and the Knicks plus the points, which right now should be 9.5. Again, Dan Kelly saying that he likes a shot with the Knicks on the money line. I don't know about that, but that definitely makes you feel good about leaning Knicks. Let's see. What else do we have here? Tom Marino says Leonard wants to be in the MVP discussion. He should have a good game tonight. Yes, I would definitely be leaning Toronto team total over and minus the points as well. And I was also leaning over in general, thinking about the hold on one second. Looking at the wait. Sorry. Okay. Fred Gialli says fade the tanking Bulls. Clippers is the play. I want to check the line movement on that one though. Okay, so I have Knicks team total over, Knicks first half team total over, and Knicks plus 9.5. Bookie Bird says, why Knicks again? Pete and Kobe and Dan like them. Bookie Bird, it's a rivalry game. It's a rivalry situation, of course. But more so than that, I just think that the Knicks are in are the kind of team right now that is going to have some line value as a big underdog going forward, for at least a few weeks because, they're sitting all their starters. They're sitting, they're veterans. They're playing a lot of young guys. The season is in the trash, and so they're getting a lot of points in most situations, and they're just in this mode right now where they're losing straight up but covering ATS, and I just think that they are systematically undervalued right now, and that should last for a little bit, not necessarily to the end of the season, but definitely for a little while longer. And I think in this spot, definitely as well. Chris Guil says Toronto first half line looks really good. Pete, yeah, I'm leaning Toronto in all ways. Toronto first half, Toronto full game, Toronto team total over, Toronto first half team total over, and maybe the full game over as well. Stantino says I like Denver team total over. Phoenix is terrible, especially on defense. Yes, and of course with Warren out, that is not good. And DeAndre Ayton also expected to be out. He has a sprained ankle, and so he's going to be out. So the Nuggets are an interesting play tonight as well. Let me just see what the line would be. It's a huge spread, so you might want to think about taking the team total over instead of laying that many points. But I agree with that. All right. Bookie Bird says maybe ATS regression also for the Nets. Yes, they've been playing very well. Not sure about in upcoming games, but in this game, I think that combined with the line is giving some value to the Knicks. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Ocapo De Niro says Drummond is questionable for tonight's game, and the Pistons have been on the road. Mavs are 17-5 at home. Leaning Mavs tonight. Yes, I was as well, Ocapo De Niro. I was as well leaning Mavs. It's just so hard to bet on this team in general, so hard to lay points with them. There might be chemistry issues with, Smith coming back. And obviously the first game that he came back was fine. He played well. He seemed happy. But they're still just a team that makes me nervous to bet on in general. They haven't been good ATS recently, and especially as a favorite of in this range, it just makes me very nervous. All right, let's see. Capo De Niro says Miami needs to win against teams like Cleveland, which are getting blown away by every team. If they want to make the playoffs, Cavs have no reason to win this game. Miami has all the motive. Yes, they're just changing up their roster a little bit and sort of experimenting to see what works. So I'm thinking maybe the Cavs on the first quarter might be a play. Bookie Bird says, I'll tail Knicks. Let's eat, fellas. Mally Mal says, Nuggets revenge. They lost to Phoenix last game. Nuggets blowout. Yes, I would vaguely agree with that. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to lay this many points in the NBA. Fred Gialli leaning Bucks over, and Memphis against the spread too. Yeah, we'll see where that line moves. I think King Rail is in the comment section. King Rail, are you going to be joining me this afternoon to cover NBA? Because I believe that you were, right, every Friday. Let me know, King Rail, because that will really help. That will really help me with my research. I will make with each game. I'll make a little question. Ask King Rail this. Ask King Rail that. King Rail, let me know if you can confirm. Are you going to be in the afternoon show or not? Lamont Williams says, Pete, happy you're back. Thank you so much. Troy V says Friday night is for the dogs in the NBA. Let's see. Other comments coming in, and then we will move on. Ben Sports likes the under in the Mavs-Pistons game. Yes, and obviously both of these teams have been strong under-trenders recently, I believe, unless I'm imagining things. But no, I'm pretty sure that Dallas has been they've both been strong under-trenders recently. Line, let's see where the total has gone for that one. It opened, got bet up a little bit initially. which is definitely concerning. Let me just check where the line is right now in the Dallas game. Yeah, well, yeah, all right. So it opened at 210. It's now down to 208 or 208 and a half. Bookmaker still has 209. Both teams strong under trenders recently, and Friday night can be tricky though. So I'm going to hold off and wait and think about it a little bit more. Obviously, the obvious opinion here would be under, considering how both these teams have done recently. All right, so again, I'm on the Knicks first half team total over, Knicks full game team total over, Knicks plus the points on the full game. I might even add them on the first half spread. The total has gotten bet down, which is not great from the perspective of betting on the over, but I might be thinking about the Brooklyn team total under as well. The Miami-Cleveland line has gotten bet down. The total has gotten bet down there. And the Denver game, of course, has gotten bet over. So the Denver team total over might be a great play, and especially on the first half. We'll think about that a little bit more. We're going to move on to college basketball in a second. I'm just scanning and the Sacramento-Memphis total is also very interesting. I'd be interested to hear what King Rail has to say about that one, because obviously Memphis, very low-scoring team, but Sacramento has also been a big under-trender recently as well. We have kind of a healthy total here at 214. I wouldn't be surprised if the under winds up being a good play. Also, depends on who's going to impose their will, their pace on the other team. Let's see, what else do we have here? What else do we have going on here? All right, that's it for NBA. I'm going to quickly check the comment section, and we'll quickly move on to the small but very, very interesting college basketball card. Yeah, Troy V says Cavs first quarter. The Jimmy Classic. Yeah, I was actually on those Cavs first quarter plays a lot this year. That's where a lot of my wins came from. And it feels like, once again, it might be a good spot to take the Cavs on the first quarter here. Let me see. Okay, hold on. King Rail says, I'll join you, Pete. Great. That is awesome. That's awesome. All right. So I'm going to check some comments here, and then we'll move on quickly to college basketball. Tomarino says, Denver's bench is strong. They should continue to build their lead, even in garbage time, with a big lead. Yeah, and the Denver team total over might be a good play there. All right, let's see. Shout out to Matt Randall. Just looking for some comments, and then we will. And then Christopher Comatini says, anything on Wizards Magic? If anyone has to say anything about the Wizards Magic game, let us know. I was thinking about the over on that one. Obviously Washington is on a back-to-back. They got beat by Golden State. I was thinking maybe Washington first quarter, but I was also more so thinking about maybe a shot with the over, and it has gotten bet up just a teeny bit. I'd be interested to see where this line movement is at 5:30 Eastern time. I was thinking over. As of right now, though, I was thinking maybe over, and I was thinking maybe Washington early plus the points. First quarter or maybe first half, but probably more so first quarter. All right, so let me just look for some comments. And then we'll talk about college basketball. Tomarino Tomor says Dallas has been great at home, but with Smith back, and Griffin is playing great. Yeah, I would be leaning Dallas here. Just not sure if I want to pull the trigger yet. And I would be leaning Cavs first quarter. And then we'll move on to college basketball in a second. Tomarino says I'd lean Orlando, but Gordon's having back issues. Yeah. I'd actually be leaning Washington, but not sure if I want to take them full game. Just maybe first half or first quarter. Troy V likes Cavs first quarter or money line. David Stewart says Magic fighting for the playoffs. They're playing better, and Washington had a hard game last night. Mally Mal, Denver should roll Phoenix. I agree with that. All right, let's see. Dean Williams says, love the over. Both teams score around 115. The game should easily get over 220. Wondering which game he's talking about. I assume he's talking about the Wizards Magic game. Yeah, Dean Williams likes the Wizards Magic game over, and that's how I was thinking as well. Not sure the Wizards are going to clamp down here. I think they're going to try to get a win with offense and maybe just give up on defense. All right. So I'll think about that. Fred Gialli likes the under in the Dallas game. And that's it right now for NBA. I'll make some more plays officially in the afternoon show when we will be joined by King Rail. I'll be able to pick King Rail's brain and pepper him with questions. Help me decide what I want to do. Again, before we move on to college basketball, I have given the Knicks team total over, first half team total over, and the Knicks plus the points as official plays. Plays I'm leaning towards are Washington, maybe first quarter, more so the over in that game, maybe Cleveland on the first quarter. Maybe Toronto minus the points or the Toronto team total over. The Memphis game is tricky. We'll see where the line movement goes, but leaning Memphis, despite the fact that the game does seem to have Sacramento written all over it, and a vague lean to Dallas. A vague lean to Dallas minus the points, and a lean to Denver on the team total over. All right, let's move to college basketball, which I feel like I have a better read on. I was definitely liking Creighton minus 2.5. Maxwell Smart says Creighton gets a three-point going. It's hard to go against them. The difference is Nova defense compared to Creighton. Home defense could make it easier for Kamal Baldwin to get going. Maxwell Smart, I don't know if you're in there right now, if you're in the comments section. But yes, here we go. Maxwell Smart already talking about the college basketball plays that he's going to be hitting us up with. He says, Hampton was a great and perfect result. Glad to get that out to the community of LoBaggers. Shout out to you, Maxwell Smart. Maxwell Smart, what do you think? I'm thinking about Creighton here, minus 2.5. Let's see if this line, yep, it's headed up. I should probably grab this bitch now. Probably, this is a bitch that I should grab right now. Definitely leaning Creighton here. Butler the better team, slightly, but I think that that the play is probably Creighton here, and probably Creighton first half as well. And the Indiana-Michigan game is also very interesting. The side is low. I really don't want to bet against Michigan here, but I was leaning over. It opened at 132. Now it's up to 133, 133.5. Buffalo-Kent State game is definitely tough. Let's see what Maxwell Smart has to say about any of this. Yep, Kevin Carter says I'm on Creighton. All right, I'm going to take Creighton here. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to take Creighton full first half and full game. Hopefully I don't lose both of them. But I'm going to take Creighton first half and Creighton full game minus the points. Fred Gialli likes Michigan minus 4. David Stewart says, I'm hearing Michigan is a good play. They may well be. And I'm leaning over, so maybe the Michigan team total over might be the way to go to protect you against a high-scoring game where Indiana actually winds up covering. Julian Cesario says Michigan first half and full game. Troy V says Indiana's a fade right now. Absolutely, and we're not seeing any kind of reverse line movement here where the line is moving in Indiana's favor yet. Mutt B says Creighton wins. Captain 24/7 says Creighton and Michigan. Maxwell Smart says cock soup got served nicely last night at Triple Beams. Maxwell Smart, what do you think about the Michigan and Indiana game? Hard for me to bet against Michigan right now. I want to be a little bit careful right now before pulling the trigger on an obvious play like this with Michigan. But I was thinking about the over. Maxwell Smart, what do you think about the over? If you have anything to say about that one, let me think. King Art says Ryder full game, Quinnipiac at the half. Let me just pull up my notes here and refresh my memory. What I was going to do with college basketball with these other plays. Maxwell Smart, if you have anything to say about any of the other college basketball games, specifically the Michigan and Indiana game on the over, because I was leaning that way. The Buffalo-Kent State game is interesting. Obviously, Buffalo is coming off a loss, but they might be entering a period where they're a little bit overvalued right now. And Kent State has been scrappy. Kent State definitely has been scrappy. And this is another game where I might be thinking about the over, but I think it's best to just lay off. Could easily see Buffalo running away with it or an outright loss as well. The Brown-Yale game, I have no opinion on as of right now. And the Quinnipiac-Marist game, I was leaning Quinnipiac. Leaning Quinnipiac as a road dog. Obviously, they've had a couple of home losses in a row, which is not good for them. But Marist is a very mediocre team, and I think that they might come back, and especially early. Maybe Quinnipiac are early. Marist is coming off of a nice win over Manhattan, though. Manhattan is a crappy team, and Marist just looks like one of these teams that's going to blow out teams like Fairfield and Manhattan, but maybe struggle against the better team. So I was definitely leaning Quinnipiac here, and definitely leaning Quinnipiac on the first half as well. Definitely leaning Quinnipiac on the first half as well. Quinnipiac has had some nice road games against in conference. They hung tough with Ryder, obviously. And I think they probably are the play here. Let's see if anyone is agreeing with me. Quinnipiac, that's what I was thinking about. Yes, Maxwell Smart. I lean Quinnipiac as a dog. And they match up well against Marist. There you go. That's what I was thinking. First half and full game. Other comments coming in. Ron Lofton says, I like Michigan, but like Dean said, the line is fishy. It absolutely is. Fred Gialli says, Peter, the over looks good on the Michigan game too. Tom Marino says, the home team usually controls tempo. Indiana up-tempo team, and Michigan likes to play fast. All right. I've made some decisions. Yes, I will take the Michigan-Indiana game over. Yes, I will take it. Quinnipiac? Yes, I will take Quinnipiac. First half and full game. Might add some team totals as well. But I'll take Quinnipiac. First half and full game. Might take the money line on that one as well. But I'm definitely going to take them first half and full game. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Yaya says, Mr. Peters, I miss you. Thank you so much, Yayas. I miss you too. Chris IG says, Quinnipiac Marist over. I was thinking that way as well. I was thinking about the Quinnipiac team total over. Maxwell Smart says, Iona against Rider. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think Iona is a live dog, but the total is very high. I still think they can get there. Kyle Jack says, take the under in the Buffalo game. Shout out to Kyle Jack. Troy V says, Yale team total over. I'm going to look at the Yale game a lot more in depth this afternoon. I just didn't have time to look at that one last night. But I was definitely liking Creighton, the over in Michigan, and Quinnipiac going up against Marist. Yeah. Troy V says, Michigan has really struggled lately. Great night to bounce back on this Indiana team. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Nasty Nate says, Michigan by 73. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I could easily, if Michigan does win in an absolute blowout and covers ATS easily, it probably is a game that goes significantly over. So I'm just taking the first half over on that one. Alex Wander says, Indiana can't score. A lack of depth scares me. And I'm just wondering if Michigan is really going to be motivated to clamp down on defense here, or just win an upper tempo, a more higher tempo game, which might actually be the case. Let's see. Comments coming in. Shout out to Maxwell Smart and everyone. Matt Randall says, good luck, Peter. I'll be on the other side of the UM total, taking the under. Okay. I understand. Tomio Tomer says, Michigan struggles with size and slow tempo games. Indiana is a small up-tempo team. Don't like to be on the other side of Matt Randall. Definitely not. Maxwell Smart says, Matt Randall says, Indiana needs a win. I lean Indiana here, but no play yet. Yes. I wouldn't even say I was leaning Indiana. I was thinking about leaning Indiana, or I was thinking about maybe leaning Indiana just because of the line. But Michigan is obviously such a superior team. It's just one of these classic situations. So hard to pull the trigger on Indiana, but that's how I was thinking. Other comments, Joshua Smith says, Pete, please keep it to a slower pace and talk about turtlenecks for a bit. Can't do that, Joshua Smith. Can't do that, Joshua Smith. Although I definitely appreciate it. I definitely appreciate that you noticed my little eye candy here that I put up. All right. Capo De Niro says, the only thing I like is Michigan, Pete. The total seems low, but I don't know about Indiana scoring. And if Michigan struggles, I don't know. Yeah. All right. Okay. Angel Romero is going to have some Mexican soccer plays for the evening show. We do have an Argentinian soccer football video from number one that I just forgot about. I don't know if we have time to put that up. I'm going to try to talk to Mission Control here to see if we want to put the number one video up, and then we will maybe end it on that one. Talking to Mission Control. Should we throw that one up? There we go.
Volví, gente, cómo los extrañaba, y ojalá ustedes me hayan extrañado a mí. El torneo argentino está a punto de empezar y no veo a Pete en ningún lado. Ya no me está llamando gallina, porque salimos campeones. Está en Nueva York, me tiene miedo, es un cagón. ¿Y Jimmy cómo está? Jimmy está enfermo. Está enfermo porque le pagué una puta toda enferma el fin de año. ¿Cómo los quiero ustedes dos? Los quiero matar. Now, what we came for. Straight to the point. My pick for this weekend is Banfield versus San Martin. Banfield is at home. San Martin has only won one game on the road this season. And Banfield has a new coach, the legendary Hernán Crespo. And there's an old saying in Argentina, a new broom's always better. So expect Banfield to win at -134, available at Bet365.
Okay, number one. Thanks for that video. Awesome. Okay, so more comments coming in. More comments coming in on all of this, and that's about it. We'll leave it here for now. We will be back at 5:30 Eastern time, and there's not going to be any new tech issues, at least not on our end. Yeah, the internet could go out in Costa Rica or in NYC, and then there will be more tech issues that we can't solve. But the tech issues that plagued us in the beginning of this show in the morning are fixed. And so we should be ready to go at 5:30 Eastern time. On the dot today, we'll talk more about the NBA in-depth, being joined by King Rail. All 10 games we'll look at in depth, and we'll check the interesting line, the line movements in some of these interesting college basketball games, and maybe I'll add on some other plays to my official college basketball card. Once again, I'm taking Creighton first half and full game, Quinnipiac first half and full game, Michigan, Indiana over, going directly against Matt Randall, which is not a good position to be in, but that is the position that I'm in. And other plays that I'm thinking about, just thinking about taking a shot with maybe the Quinnipiac team total over or the Marist team total under or both. Definitely liking Quinnipiac here. The Rider Iona game, I'm going to pass on for now. Yale Brown, I'm going to pass on for now. And Buffalo Kent State, going to pass on for now. Leaning Kent State, but I don't quite have the balls to pull the trigger on it yet. But with a little bit of research, I might get balls to do that. It opened at 9. It's gotten bet down to 8. Buffalo is obviously, they were awesome to start the year, but now they're tailing. They're pulling back a little bit in terms of they're having some issues on the court. At the same time, that the market is starting to give them a lot more credit, and that's why they've lost their last 3 games in a row. ATS, and we might see further ATS struggles from Buffalo in exactly spots like this going forward. So I would be leaning Kent State, not pulling the trigger on it yet, but definitely have a strong lean to that. And that's it for college basketball. We will be back at 5:30 Eastern time. Thanks so much, everyone, for bearing with us through our tech issues. See you at 5:30 Eastern time.